Welcome to Picture Healer channel. Today we are going to look at the Chinese zodiac sign for the first quarter of 2025, and this is by the I-Ching divination. In this video, we'll go through the first 6 animal signs. Next week, we'll do the second part of the forecast. To pick out an I-Ching hexagram is similar to the tarot card reading. There are different ways to come up with the number and find one of the 64 hexagrams. And I also pick one changing line for each animal sign. This changing line usually means the ending or close to the end of this period or after taking actions or changes. So let's start with the first animal sign, the rat. For the red sign in the first 3 months of 2025, I have the hexagram that's called Heaven Wind Encountering. It's the number 44. We know the I-Ching hexagram consists of 6 lines. It's either the yang line, that's a solid line, or the yin line, the broken line. And in this picture, there's only one yin line, or the broken line, at the bottom. And the bottom line is the first line of the I-Ching hexagram. And the top line is the 6th line. So the yin is at the beginning of the stage and it's starting to grow. So that means the negative energy is starting to grow. So we have to pay attention to that and control the negative energy. And in the I-Ching book, it mentions there might be a strong, dominant woman in the picture, and be careful about the imbalanced relationship. If this is a marriage you are thinking about, be extra careful. Another meaning of the encountering is that you might meet old friends unexpectedly in new environment. So that is a good thing to reconnect with old good friends. Overall, this hexagram emphasizes the relationship or people you are meeting, and there is a tendency for imbalanced relationship. So pay attention to both your romantic relationship and business partnership. And the changing line is a second line. So we have the yang line change to yin line, and now we have heaven and mountain. So the heaven and wind turns into heaven and mountain. And the heaven mountain is called hiding in I-Ching, and that's number 33. This hexagram shows that it's time to step back when you cannot share the same value as your leader. If you cannot agree with the people you are working for, it's time to step back, even though you might lose some status, money, or fame. It's more important to follow your principles. If you don't step back or hide for a short period of time, there might be trouble awaiting. And now we have second line changed to the yin line, the broken line. So that also means the yin energy is growing. So in the second half of this quarter, maybe closer to March, be more careful about negative friends or toxic friends, and try to keep away from them. This hexagram means the current situation is not in your favor. It's better to conserve your energy and hide in the background for now and wait for the right opportunity. Avoid taking big actions now. So that's the I-Ching reading for red. We have encountering and changing to hiding. The second animal sign is ox or the bull. And the I-Ching hexagram I have is lake, wind, great exceeding. That's number 28. The great exceeding also means great surpassing, major mistakes, or misfortune. So overall, this is a warning sign. Something is going overboard and too much, and that can cause problems. Here you see the picture of the hexagram. There is a yin line on the top and the yin line in the bottom. And in the center, we have 4 yang lines. The yin lines on the top and bottom can make the center unstable and weak. So this is kind of an unstable and a weak situation. The I-Ching says that your ambition is greatly surpassing your skill right now. So be careful and avoid bold actions to stay safe. Maybe you have high expectations and big goals, but your ability is not there yet, so that can cause a lot of pressure and possible troubles. So just be careful about that tendency. For the ox, the changing line is also the second line. So after the changing line, it becomes lake, mountain. That's the number 31 in I-Ching. It's called responding. And this one is usually related to romantic relationship. It means sensing, feeling, and responding to your heart and to your emotion. Generally, it means a happy and harmonious relationship between the male and female, or the yin and the yang, and the natural progression of the relationship and the marriage. So it emphasizes the importance of building a good relationship, following the traditional values. There is always a right way and wrong way to do things. In I-Ching, usually the right way is to follow the traditions and the virtues, making progress step by step. Do not rush it or trying to cheat. If you follow your heart, be sincere and honest, there should be good ending and happiness. So for the animal sign of ox, the hexagram starts with the great exceeding. Be careful about taking big action right now to stay safe. And after the changing line, it becomes responding. So there's a good chance of finding happy relationship. And this is very lucky in romance and marriage. The third animal sign is tiger. The I-Ching hexagram I have is lake, mountain, responding. So this is exactly the same as the ox sign after the changing line. So for the animal sign of tiger, the relationship is also the focus for the first quarter of 2025. It shows the importance of being true to your feelings and emotions and responding to your heart and building up a happy and harmonious relationship. As long as you are sincere and honest, there is happy romance and family life. The changing line for tiger is the fourth line, so we count from the bottom up. The fourth line changes the top trigram into water, so it becomes water mountain. That's number 38, hardship. It can mean the second half of the first quarter, maybe around March. There might be some type of hardship, some difficulty. You feel unclear about your direction and feeling stuck. And the best way is to look for advice of other experienced person or experts and try to get their support and help. And at this time, it's better not to take risks. Be more conservative to avoid danger. Just be more patient and wait for the right opportunity. And during this time, you can focus on increasing your abilities, maybe studying or learning new skills. The next animal sign is rabbit. I have the I-Ching hexagram number 1, Qian. The Qian Gua means heaven. This is one of the most positive hexagram in I-Ching. You can see the 6 lines, they are all yang lines. That means it's pure yang energy or male energy. So this is extra lucky for males. And this also signified a great beginning because this is number 1. And it's a good time to take big actions and go ahead with your ambition and all your planning. Generally, this is a very fortunate hexagram. It can mean prosperity in every area of your life, increased finance, successful career, happy family life, and good health. So rabbit is very lucky in the first 3 months. The changing line for rabbit is the third line. So the hexagram is changed to heaven, lake, and that's a number 10, treading carefully. So this is a warning sign. In I-Ching, it says to walk carefully to avoid stepping on a tiger's tail. because the situation is getting dangerous. So you have to be extra careful and watch your footstep. This hexagram also related to fulfilling your responsibilities and follow up on your duties. So if we can do that and pay attention to details, we can avoid danger. It's the same idea as walking carefully and watch your footstep. So during this time, be humble and flexible, and it's better luck if you can stay in the background now. So that's the second half of the first quarter. So if you have important project, you should work on it in the first half of the first quarter when the energy is more favorable. And then be more careful and more conservative in the second half of the first quarter of 2025. The next animal sign is dragon. We have the hexagram, heaven, lake. That's the same as the rabbit sign after the changing line. We have a lot of repeats in this reading, and I'm not sure why. So the same as a rabbit, we have to be careful about our footstep to avoid stepping on a tiger's tail because the situation is getting dangerous. And focus on your own responsibility and your duty and follow through with your promises. And stay humble and flexible and stay in the background for now. The changing line is the second line, and that changes the hexagram into heaven, thunder, number 25. That's called Wu Wang. And there are many translations, and I think a simple translation is avoid daydreaming. Or you can say avoid falsehood, avoid reckless actions, or impractical daydream. That's similar to number 28, great exceeding. We talk about that for the animal sign of ox. For the number 25, avoid daydreaming. The problem can come from your impractical expectations and too much daydreaming. And the best solution is to follow the traditional way, the traditional method, and the values, and avoid any shortcuts or unproven methods. So you have to know your limit and avoid taking big action if it's above your limit. And avoid conflict with other people. Confronting other people can get you into trouble at this time. So that's the animal sign of dragon. We're starting with treading carefully and focus on your duties. And later watch out for impractical daydreaming. The last animal sign today is a snake. I have the heaven fire, that's number 13. It can mean equality or collaboration. It means working with other like-minded person, maybe join a bigger group and combine with other people's talent. And this will create a win-win situation and help you achieve bigger goals. This hexagram is pretty lucky for career and business. At this time, it's important to build a good relationship, especially the business relationship. Working with other people is better than being solo at this time, and it will increase your luck. The changing line is the second line, so it becomes heaven, heaven, and it goes back to number 1 hexagram. It's called the heaven or qian. We talk about the qian hexagram in rabbit animal sign. This hexagram represents pure yang energy, a great beginning, and very lucky for males. And overall, it's great fortune in different areas, your finance, career, family life, and health. And this is a great time to take big actions and meet important people, planning big goals, and make progress. The number 1 heaven is one of the best hexagram in I-Ching. So the snake is very lucky. You start with the Tongren hexagram, focusing on working with other people. And then you have the heaven hexagram. The energies are very positive and supportive of your ambitions. So that's the first 6 animal signs forecast. There are a lot of focus on the relationships. either the romantic relationship or the business relationship. So it's important to pay attention to building up good relationship. And another common topic is to know when is the time to step back and stay in the background, and when can you go forward and take big actions. When the timing is not on your side and the people in power don't have the same value with you, it's time to retreat and wait. This way we can stay safe and be true to ourselves and wait for the right opportunity to act in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you next week.